another round of the governor versus government battle going on in Tamil Nadu. The latest from TN Governor R.N. Ravi was a veiled dig at Chief Minister MK Stalin on his trip to Japan and Singapore to promote investment in the state. While the TN government announced the signing of several MOUs during that trip, the governor, speaking at a closed-door meeting with vice chancellors of state and private universities, said, and I quote, "Investors won't come just because we go and ask them to, or just because we go and have a talk." The TN government hit back and said the governor's remarks were, quote, politically motivated and uncalled for. This is not the first time that Governor Ravi's comments have sparked off a controversy. Only a few days ago, he had also said that the idea of state identities could be divisive, leading to a strong reaction from several regional parties.
In our state, we have to create that so that we attract more and more of them. Investors will not come just because we ask or we go and have a talk. Nobody will.
Yeah, he talks politics. He is not a governor. Because Modi, with the plan that Make in India, had gone all over the country, world, to seek investment. But Ravi says that going and seeking investment will not help. I think he had some anger with Modi.
Well, this confrontation has been going on for a while now in Tamil Nadu, several cases, and not just in Tamil Nadu. We've seen some similar confrontations in other states as well when it comes to clearing of bills by governors. But of course, this is a different tone altogether. Joining us now is R.K. Radhakrishnan, Senior Associate Editor of The Frontline. He joins us from Chennai. We'll also be joined by BJP's Kalyan Raman, who's in charge of the party's intellectual cell in the state. We're just trying to get that line through to him. But before we go to the BJP, which we must on this case, R.K. Radhakrishnan, first just lay out this whole process. Despite several Supreme Court judgments, you often see a government versus government, governor confrontation play out in several states. We've seen that in southern states of Telangana as well as Tamil Nadu and Kerala repeatedly. How do we allow this to go unchecked, and what needs to be done to perhaps put this in its place?
Veera, as you rightly pointed out, the problem exists in Telangana, Tamil Nadu and Kerala, and of course West Bengal, which are ruled by the opposition parties, and not in places where the BJP or its allies are in power. That's the first thing we need to realize. And secondly, it all comes from the governor. Whether you take the case of Kerala, you take the case of Tamil Nadu, or you take the case of Telangana, repeatedly it comes from the governor's doing. You look at the first or the major incident that happened even this year. The governor was supposed to address the Tamil Nadu Assembly. And what he does is he comes there and reads something which is not there in the governor's address. And he skips portions of the address and adds stuff, to which the chief minister has rose up in the assembly and then condemned this action, leading to a governor walking out from the assembly. Okay, this is unimaginable. I have not heard this anywhere before in my career in Tamil Nadu, having covered the assembly for more than 2 decades. Similarly, what he has done is, as the chief minister was returning from a foreign tour, he says something like, just because you go and ask, people will not come. Then how does investment come into the state? Obviously, we need to ask. Obviously, there has to be an environment. The creation of the environment is part the job of the state government, but part the job of the central government as well. The governor is very well aware of that. And he talks about, in the same meeting, he talked about engineering graduates not being unemployed and political diploma holders being employed. Again, the engineering education comes under the purview of the AICTE, which again is a central government body. So it's very difficult to figure out whom the governor is criticizing, especially because even yesterday, President Murmu is sitting in a meeting and asking abroad and asking investors to come into India. The same thing that the Prime Minister Modi does across the world. So I think the governor has a serious problem with the chief minister and the government, but is unable to find ways to get around the chief minister and the government here, and is trying to make up excuses and is trying to generally paint a picture that everything is bad in Tamil Nadu. That seems to be the larger political angle.
Right. RK, it's important that you raise that point, and you've taken a strong position against the governor and the actions that one has been playing off. I believe we can go across now to Mr. Kalyan Raman, who's not yet. I believe we're still trying to put that line through. There is a sense that even within the state BJP unit, there are those who believe that some of the remarks that the governor has made could be detrimental for the party at the grassroots level in Tamil Nadu. What are the concerns that one has, both in terms of bills, as you've been pointing out, and in terms of administrative issues? How do they go about this process? Because this is something that needs to be resolved at some point of time and cannot be allowed to go on unchecked. What does the state government plan to do to resolve this situation?
See, what we see very clearly, Veera, is that there is a line that the BJP takes, and there is a completely different line that the governor is taking. Like, for instance, the discussion over the Dravidian model and the positives of the Sanatana Dharma. In fact, the BJP does not talk about Sanatana Dharma normally in a meeting or other places, because it is very, very clear that the OBCs and the SCs make up a major chunk of vote in Tamil Nadu. So it doesn't make sense to talk about Sanatana Dharma at all. So you talk about empowerment and whatnot, and about reservations and issues like that. But the governor takes a completely different line, embarrassing the party here. And again, the Dravidian model of governance is what the DMK has come up with.
Okay.
Now,
RK,
it is a completely political strategy.
RK, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I think we finally have Mr. Kalyan Raman. Sir, this is quite concerning, given that there is a constant confrontation between the Raj Bhavan and the Secretariat, the governor and the government, and it's not really healthy, whether it comes to clearing of bills or other issues which make the Raj Bhavan more political. Is there a sense of concern about this in the Tamil Nadu state BJP unit itself, sir? Mr. Kalyan Raman, if you can hear me, sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do.
We've been trying to reach out to you. There is a growing concern about a confrontation between the governor and the state government. Is there a concern within the state BJP as well, or does the state BJP completely back what the governor is saying or doing?
Absolutely, there is no concern. The reason being that the role of governor had been diminished over a period of 70 years by the Congress that ruled the country in the past. Now, the Constitution had given a lot of powers to the governor, and the Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu is one of the most knowledgeable governors available in the country. And he is exercising exactly the constitutional duties that is enshrined in the Constitution to the governor. So, when Congress and the people appointed by Congress were not able to deliver, here is a governor who is able to guide the state in a proper manner.
Sir, it's a democratically elected government. Is there a need to review a chief minister going on foreign trips, which every chief minister in this country does, in terms of going and seeking foreign investments? Is there a need to get into that kind of functioning of the government? Isn't it unhealthy in terms of holding bills back, sir?
Why should we call it as unhealthy? Let us look at the facts of the case. The government of Gujarat, or the CM of Gujarat, or the CM of Haryana, or the CM of Karnataka, or the CM of other states which are also drawing foreign direct investment, they have not been going as much as the state chief minister, Mr. Stalin. And they are drawing much more than, in multiple times more than Tamil Nadu. So it is a question of creating the right kind of environment in the state, in terms of labor practices, in terms of unrest, in terms of cordial atmosphere, in terms of good governance, in terms of right policies. There are so many areas where the policies can be properly framed to attract the FDI.
Sir, there have been repeated.
It is a question of doing the right thing here internally rather than going to abroad.
No, firstly, every chief minister of every state is out to get foreign investment, number one. Number two, and this is important, the Supreme Court has repeatedly said in several judgments, landmark judgments, about the role of the governor, not going beyond, having to act on the interests of the democratically elected party. Is the Raj Bhavan then turning into a political office? And that is a concern, sir.
No, see, it is a question of perception. Let us look at the fact of the case. Is not the Constitution giving right to the governor to guide the state properly? Otherwise, why would there be a governor in the first place?
Sir.
The governor is expected to be a wise, knowledgeable, matured personality who
Mr.
can
Kalyan Raman-
guide the state through. No, please allow me to complete. You may raise the democratic question. A governor is not a democratic elected person, but he is considered to be an intellectual, wise, matured person with a lot of wisdom. When that be the case, a democratic elected person can be of any kind, including like our CM. I'm not getting into the details, but then CM who cannot be eloquent, a CM who cannot be dealing with things knowledgeably. This is a matter of reality as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned. Let us face the fact of the case.
A constant
He
confrontation
can't even discriminate. He can't even discriminate between the right and wrong.
over.
He keeps talking about something which is a notional thing called the Dravidian model.
No,
what is this Dravidian model? Something
no, let's
created
not
by
go.
the Britishers.
Let's stick to the matter.
No, I'm coming to the point. It is not a question of democracy or being undemocratic. It is a question of the role enshrined in the Constitution for the governor, and that he is executing it properly, thereby suggesting to the government as to how to govern the state. He is guiding. He is within his right to. He may not interfere with the policy matters, but it is within his duty to guide the state. That is what we need to understand.
The Supreme Court in Shamsher Singh versus State of Punjab judgment in 1975, which has been quoted repeatedly several times, has said the constitutional conclusion is that the governor is but a shorthand expression for the state government and the president is an abbreviation for the central government. Now, there have been several judgments. Supreme Court has said that governors need to clear bills.
How does it come in the way of what is happening?
But is there a constant...
It does not come in the way of what's happening. The Supreme Court judgment does not come in the way.
It does.
Where the Supreme Court judgment is coming in the way.
It does.
Is the governor wrong in suggesting to the state government that your trips don't really do anything great, but let us create an internal better situation?
No,
it's a very simple thing.
Are you saying then
democracy and legality coming into play?
My final question,
they don't
sir.
come into play.
My final question: are you saying then there is going to be more confrontation and there are going to be more statements of this nature, which could result in further distancing and further acrimony between the Raj Bhavan and the democratically elected state government in Tamil Nadu, sir?
The governor is within his right to guide the state.
Okay.
That is what the Constitution has given him as a right.
Okay.
And he will continue to do that.
Okay.
It is a question of the state government.
RK, we are running completely out of time. I'm sorry, we are running.
Accepting the facts of the case.
There is no such right. The government is guided by
things.
the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers. The governor has to go by the what the Council of Ministers
this is a very...
He does not have any
Constitution. He can keep on muttering something.
You don't know the legality. Even in the last
you don't seem to know the legality.
Everything else is rubbish.
This is a very...
You don't seem to know the legality.
This is a very heated debate.
He has to do his job.
Hang on.
He's not doing his job.
Hang on,
he's not doing his job.
Mr. Kalyan Raman, Mr. Kalyan Raman, Mr. R.K. Radhakrishnan, this is a heated debate. It's one of great concern, one that needs to be sorted out, one that needs to be perhaps have clarity on it.
No, you don't seem to understand that the government
Thank you too for joining us on this debate. We'll keep that conversation going. It is one that has legal, political and administrative repercussions and one of great concern in several states. We'll keep that conversation going.